Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy Sunday.
What's up, people? We miss y'all. I hope y'all missed us. And guess who's here? Look at her.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
She's sparkling. So thank you for your prayers and everything else. So welcome. So today we're going to be dealing with the subject of how do you deal with security issues and trust issues in your relationship, in your current relationship, when you've had relationship challenges and trust situations in the past. This is huge because basically what the person is asking is, how do I get rid of the baggage that I'm carrying into this current relationship when it's hard to do so because I've been through so much where I've put my heart out there, I trusted people, and they just basically did not respect the fact that I gave them my trust. Right. So now I'm dealing with trust issues. How do I deal with that in a new relationship without destroying the current one, right? Or a better way of asking the question is, how do I not hold my current significant other hostage to the experiences that I went through with other people in the past?
Right. That
would be a good way of looking at it. And good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
What's up, Roderick? What's up, bro?
Hey, Roderick. Hey, Terry.
Hey, look who's here. All right.
From Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica in the house. All right. What's up, Clarissa? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this because I know this is a huge issue in many relationships. But before we even talk about solutions, one of the things I like to do is to address it. One of the biggest things that people don't understand is how it appears in a relationship, okay? How does it look like in the relationship? Because before you know what a solution is, you have to know and identify the problem. And that's part of the situation because a lot of people are not acknowledging that they have trust issues. Right. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm cool. There's something wrong with you. No, it is something wrong. And it's okay to say, hey, I've been hurt by so many people in the past that, you know, I'm struggling with this situation. So we're going to talk about that.
How are you? Thank you, sweetie.
Good morning. So, babe, let me ask you as a woman, and I'll talk to you guys from a man's point of view, what it may look like. But I want to ask you from a woman's perspective, and she's in a new relationship now, trying to make it work, but she's having trust issues. How does that come across in the relationship? What does that look like?
Insecurity, ladies. That's the biggest one. Insecurity. I think for me, I dealt with it because, you know, number one, just things that happened in my childhood that just spring forward into my adulthood that caused me to have a lot of trust issues. But I would have to say what it looks like in a relationship is it's almost hard to love and hard to give love when you have trust issues because you're always living on guard. Wow. You're always waiting for the next mistake. You're always waiting for the next failure of that partner. So I think for me, it almost looks like fear and lack of love because it's hard to love someone you don't trust.
Yep.
It's really hard to love someone you don't trust.
That's powerful. Here's what it looks like for men. For men, every time she possibly is around a person who he thinks that she may be attracted to, then he's looking at her side-eyed and now she's on guard. Yeah. So she's kind of fearful of looking anywhere because, you know, my man may think that I'm trying to flirt with this and that, or he may say to you, oh, so you must have liked him, huh? Because I seen you looking over in his direction. So those kind of things will come up. A lot of men they're very possessive, ladies, and I need you to understand this. Before you jump into a relationship with guys, you really need to do your homework on guys because, again, for a woman, she may be in a relationship and she may say, this is my man. But for a man, when he says, this is my woman, it's more of a possession kind of thing. It's kind of like she's mine. She is I bought her. I got the receipt. And not another man better look at her and she better not look at another man. And then he gets really enraged and all the territorial. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Men are very territorial.
And watch this, but watch this. Here's the funny thing about it. We was watching Animal Planet the other day. And I said, babe, excuse my term, but I said, babe, you see, even in nature, the animals are fighting over some coochie. You understand what I'm saying? Excuse me for saying that, but it was the truth.
Filter.
Oh, filter. Okay. So the point is that even in the animal culture, The males are extremely territorial, and they are extremely guarded, and they feel like
Right.
these,
That is so true.
this is mine. And not another man better look at it, and she better not look at another man. But here's the root cause of that. It's insecurity.
Oh yeah.
It's insecurity. Okay?
Right.
And here's where the
And
truth...
it's a major, and I feel like it's a major crisis,
Yep.
not only in love relationships, but friendships, family. It's so, co-workers.
Yep.
We've been so
Jaded.
hurt. We've
Yep.
been so abandoned. We've been so betrayed by so many people. So it just affects so many areas of our lives.
And the truth is, it's real, and
Yeah.
we really want to talk to the heart of the people who's dealing with this,
Yeah.
because when you say that you have these things, for the few who actually admit it, then you don't want to say it because now you feel bad, you may be
Right.
stigmatized. But let me tell you the truth. Here's where it really comes from. It's hard to be in a relationship on a business level, relationship level, family level with people you really can trust.
Right.
Most people are shady nowadays.
Right.
Everybody's in it for themselves, and so when you're in relationship with people who are not integral,
Yeah.
and the word integrity, you want to write this down. I taught y'all this a long time ago, but this is a great time to bring it back up. The word integrity, it means, write this down, no cracks. Okay, I'm giving you simple definition. You can get all these, Webster definitions. I'm gonna give you a real definition for you to understand it in relationships. The word integrity means no cracks. It's kind of like it comes from the word for boats, okay? A boat that floats on the ocean must have integrity. It cannot have any cracks in it, because even the smallest crack will allow for water to get into it and
that's
erode the metal from the
That's
inside
good.
out,
That's
no
good.
matter how small. So the boat must have its integrity. In other words, no cracks. So what does
Right.
that mean in a person? It means what they think, what they say, and
All
what they
line
do must all line up.
Right.
Let me say that again. What they think, what they say, and what they do must all line up. That is a person of integrity. And it's hard to find people who are dealing with you on an integral level.
So true.
And because you've been through several relationships, because you probably grew up with, some people have grown up in what we call chaotic homes,
Right.
which means you are considered a chaos kid because you saw so much chaos growing up. So now you couldn't trust your family members.
Right.
You got into relationships with people. You couldn't trust them.
Yeah.
So it's natural that you're going to develop some insecurities.
Right.
So don't be ashamed that you're having these insecurities.
Right.
Okay? Be clear on that. It's not a bad stigma. It's just that because of what happened to you, these things are a natural result. Okay? So it's nothing wrong with that until, and here's something. A friend of mine, and her name is Rotlyn. She sent this in another post, and I want to read this to you guys. Now we're going to get to some solutions. But here's what she said. I just want to clear it up, what the problem is and where it comes from. And you don't have to be ashamed that you have these insecurities. Pretty much everybody has them. Okay, let's just throw that out. I had them.
Right.
Okay?
I had them.
I had them. Okay? We
That's
both
right.
throwing our hands up.
That's right, Nisi. Is the bottom line is insecurities.
Yeah.
And not only insecurities with others, but insecurities with yourself.
Yeah. And here's the thing. When you're able to admit it, now you can deal with it.
Yeah.
Many people are trying to not to admit it, and this is what it looks like in relationships. I ain't insecure, you insecure. But you keep accusing me of stuff I ain't did. I'm just telling it like it is. Are you telling it like it is, or you are telling it like you think it is? And then when you start telling like you think it is, it's a problem, not because of what happened to you, but because now you're trying to make your thought process the biblical truth.
Yeah.
And that's where the danger comes in relationships. So let's go and look at how to solve this problem. Here's something that Rodlin sent this morning, and I thought this was so powerful. It says right here, we can't thrive while living on recycled memories. Allow your now, meaning your situation now. Allow your now is chance to amaze you. And that's by Lisa Ann McCoy, a quote by her. Some of you guys, and we had to work on this too.
Oh, yeah.
You're in a new relationship, but you have the old mindset and the old securities and the old, well, I remember the last time I trusted somebody and I gave my heart and my body and this and that, and they did this and that. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Right.
Here's what I'm suggesting, first off, before we get to these quick ones, okay? These 5 solutions. If you are in a situation where you still have scar tissue on your heart, let me please beg you, don't jump into a relationship right now.
Hmm. That's a good suggestion.
Because all you're going to do is keep holding the other person accountable for deeds that other people did.
Right.
You know, I was talking to a couple the other day, and she was saying, well, you know, I was in a past relationship with this person, these people, and, you know, and I knew how it worked out. So I just want to, okay, so you're about to bail out on a situation based off of what prior people did. I said, ma'am, you're not even giving this current guy a chance because of what you went through.
Right.
So you're assuming that he's just going to be like everybody else. Okay, well, what chance did the man have?
Right. Right.
You get what I'm saying? So you may be dumping your blessing over old lessons. Okay?
Wow.
So let's get to some solutions.
Yeah.
Okay? Does that make sense, babe?
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Don't she look radiant? Oh my God, I'm just so happy to have my baby back with me.
Stop.
So let's deal with number one. All right, take notes out. Notes out. Notes out. Here we go. And Roderick, you said you was talking about that last night with a family member, huh? See, I told you this stuff is relevant. It's relevant. This is real.
Oh, that's good, Judy.
What you say?
She says, I'm going to be transparent. I had insecure problems, but not anymore. God fixed it. Amen.
Praise God. See? Deal with it.
Share in the comments how God helped you with that.
Yeah,
Judy,
we'd like to know.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, please. All right, here we go. Number one. Number one says, deal with past pains. Watch this. This is cool. The first most important step in overcoming your trust issues is to deal with your past pain. That's what Judy is just saying. She dealt with it. Many of you guys, I'm telling you, oh my God, this is huge. When you start saying, I ain't got no insecurity issues, but you constantly in and out of relationships and people keep saying the same thing.
Right.
Listen. The Bible says, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. So if that's going to be your stance, I recommend stay out of relationships because you're not ready to acknowledge what you're really dealing with.
Right.
That's the reason why I said it's nothing wrong with you being insecure. If you've been done wrong in the past, admit it and deal with it. Don't deny it because you're just going to keep ruining other people now because every new person who you come across, like you were saying earlier, you're going to look at them with suspicious
suspicions. You're always under suspicion. You always give people a part of yourself. You really can't even be your full self.
Wow.
Because it's hard to be who you are and be comfortable in your own skin, no matter whether or not this person will betray you, no matter what, if anyone else has betrayed you, if you are not being authentic with people. Because again, I talked about a little while ago about being vulnerable, and giving trust requires you to be vulnerable.
Yes.
And many of us don't know how to be vulnerable in that area because we've been hurt, because the last relationship failed, because we were betrayed and someone, had infidelity issues. But I think in order for you to really, really become who God wants you to be, you have to open yourself up to people, to trust yourself, trust life in the process, and not only that, trust God. Some of us have trust issues with God. So I think that, it's a journey. It's been a journey for me, and I know it's been a journey for you. But it's one that is so necessary for you to have a fulfilled life.
And here's the thing: you're talking to 2 people who dealt with insecurities, and listen, and hear me good.
Yeah.
Until we dealt with our insecurities on a personal level, and then we became vulnerable with each other about it, we were always in arguments. We were always talking about divorce and all these crazy things. But at the end of the day, it was because of what happened to me in a prior relationship and what happened to her in prior relationship. That kind of stuff, it really affected us. So when we came together, it was a beautiful situation, but I was still holding her accountable based off of what happened to be prior in another relationship and vice versa. And so we had to learn some skills. So let's share a few with you guys today. Okay. So number one, you must deal with your past. You got to deal with it. If you're not willing to deal with it, then don't jump into a relationship because you're going to hold the other person, the new person, the minute let me give you an example.
You're basically holding them hostage. You're holding them hostage. I'm not gonna let you in.
Yeah, and you're only giving them a 25% to 40% of your heart because the other 60% saying I got this on reserve. They're going I ain't giving everything to them. That means you're not ready. Don't jump into a relationship that if you're not ready to give you away to this person. But at the same time, I'm not saying be foolish and give everybody everything right up front, but I'm saying when you're in a relationship, and especially you say, okay, I want to get married to this person, don't give them half of you. You understand what I'm saying? Don't walk down the aisle talking about we're going to get married if you're only going, well, I know half of all marriages end in divorce. So,
That's right.
you know what? I'll marry you. I say I do, but a secret part of me saying I don't. You understand what I'm saying?
You're already skeptical.
Yeah.
You're a skeptic.
Yeah, you're a skeptic.
Yeah.
Then why are you getting married?
Right.
Okay, here's the next one. Let's look at the number 2. So the first one, number 1, write it down. Number 1 is deal with past pain, okay? Number 2, here's number 2. Trust yourself. Some of you guys, this is huge, and you were saying that was a big one. Why is that big?
Oh my God. I mean, because when the rubber meets the road, when everything else fails, when everybody has left, when all else fails, you always have you. So you have to be able to trust you. Yeah. You have to be able to trust that, you know what, no matter what happens, no matter what comes, no matter what goes, I still have me. And I have to trust the fact that I'm going to be okay no matter what.
Yep.
And that takes true trust.
And here's another big one why trusting yourself becomes an issue.
Yeah.
Because realistically, and this is something, this is some stuff. Realistically, when you don't trust yourself, here's what you're saying. I made so many bad decisions in who I've chosen in the past until I don't trust myself to choose right the next time.
Right.
And when you're at that level, that really means, again, stay out of relationships. I don't care how lonely you are. It's better for you to be alone than to jump into a relationship with a potentially good partner and you ruin it because you don't trust yourself. And when you don't trust yourself, guess what? You're not going to trust them.
No. Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So don't do that. Just relax. There's billions of people on this planet. The minute you get healed, there will be somebody available. Okay?
Okay, Mark says you can't trust no one with a hood mentality. Sex makes things cloudy, but it's what pulls. We must learn to love.
Period.
Learn to love, period. Trust yourself. Amen. That's right. Because that's the only way you can have the capacity to love another person is when you love and love yourself. And also when you learn to trust in self, you learn to be there for yourself no matter who's not there for you.
Exactly.
Because you're gonna always have you no matter who leaves, no matter what comes or goes.
That was a big
one. So you have
to
be able to learn to be there and trust yourself that I can use good judgment, that I can make good decisions, that everything that's happening in my life, there are no mistakes.
Yep.
Even the bad things that's happened to me, I always say to myself, everything was happening to the way it was supposed to happen. I learned a lesson. Even the pain was teaching me. Even the abandonment was teaching me. So we learn to trust ourselves sometimes through those pains, through those problems, through those disappointments, through those betrayals, through that abandonment from other people. So I think that sometimes we stay stuck, like you were saying, in those past pains. And as a result, we're stuck in that broken place and we don't learn to trust ourselves. We're afraid to move out on anything. We're afraid to make decisions. We're afraid to love. We're afraid to step out on opportunities because we don't even trust ourselves.
That's amazing.
So, you know what I mean?
So, in other words, due diligence on yourself is the most important. It's what we're suggesting here, okay?
Right.
You got to. It's due diligence. I read a comment, by the way, that said men hurt worse sometimes than women. That is huge. And that we don't process things as quickly as women do. Let me tell you why that exists. I forgot who just said that, but let me tell you why that exists. It's because y'all women have each other to talk to.
Right.
You know what men do when we're around each other? It is a tap. You bet not come around me talking about whimpering and whining about a woman. Bro. We talk about sports. We talk about her booty over there, her breast. Oh, did you see her? It's just superficial relationships. Men rarely have a chance to have another guy to just say, man, I'm in pain, bro. Man, I'm hurting so bad. They don't have those kind of friends around them. But women, you guys support each other. Oh, girl, come on over here. Come on, girl. I'm going to take you out and we go. So you have a support system, an emotional support system. Men do not. And that's the reason why you can process your pain and move on quicker than men. Now, here's what's strange, though. Here's the strange fact. Women who get hurt take a longer time to get into another relationship. They take their time. But here's the problem. Men don't. So their pain lasts longer, but their attachment to another woman goes quickly.
Wow.
Do you see the problem?
That's
This
good.
is again why I'm telling you, do not jump quickly into relationships.
That is powerful.
So when that man is not having enough time to deal with his insecurities, his hurts, his pain, or whatever from the last relationship, but yet you come on the scene saying, God sending me a man. Girl, he may not be your man. That may not be God sending this dude.
Wow.
It may be you and your desperation saying, I need a man, or your friends encouraging you, girl, you need a man. You just need some. You better slow down.
Wow.
Because that's the strange thing about it. That comment was so powerful. Whoever said that, I'm sorry, the comments are scrolling. I don't have my laptop, so I can't see. But that was so true. Absolutely so true. Right. Men process pain slower than women, but they jump into relationships quicker than women. And here you come along, trying to be the good woman and wondering why he's so dysfunctional.
And really, ladies, there's really nothing we can do.
You can't.
To help that other partner learn to trust. That is a self job. It is an inward self job. It's something that you have to do on the inside of you. I could not help him learn to trust. I could not help him. I couldn't erase all of the pain that he went through in his past relationships. But what I did was, I think for us, we just learned to work on ourselves.
Yep.
Basically separately.
Yep.
And I think as a result of us becoming better as individuals, it helped to deal with those trust issues in our relationship much better, because you can't change another person's heart.
No, you can't.
You can't take that away. All you can do is be the whole person that you are in that relationship.
Yes.
Trusting yourself, learning to help that, and basically demonstrating ways to help that person learn to trust you in the relationship.
And we're going to give a solution on that.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. I know we've run out of time. All right. So number 3. So number 2 was trust yourself. Okay. So number 1 was I forgot what number 1 was. Deal with your past pains. And then number 2 is trust yourself. Here's number 3. Number 3 of 5 of them is give people their space.
Right.
Okay. Stop freaking stalking people, okay? Always people. Who you on the phone with? Okay, so can I see your phone? Pass me your phone. Let me check your text message. Let me check your emails. Then you're on the social media page just checking. You're just looking for evidence. You're not authentically in the relationship.
Right.
You're actually in a relationship where you're trying to play spy games.
Right.
And if that's why you're there, then you're really wasting each other's time. Because nobody want to be in a relationship where I got to walk on eggshells every time you're around. I'm not at peace.
Right.
You know what? Well, see, the last time I was in this relationship, they cheated on me and they did this and that. Okay, that's what they did.
Right.
That's not me. And I'm not going to sit up here and keep letting you just put me through the screener and the ringer that you should have did with them, or if whatever happened with them, whatever. I cannot be at peace with you because we're constantly arguing over things. And I promise you, I know many people who are dealing with this. Yeah. So they're in a relationship, they want to be in a loving relationship, but you don't give the man a chance.
Right.
You don't give the woman a chance, because every time they even blink the wrong way, see, but you don't, and sometimes you don't even say it out your mouth. It comes out through your attitude, and the person like, why you got an attitude today? What did I do? And your attitude is driving them away, because you're holding them accountable for behaviors that the other person did. Now, here's something that's very unique, though. And I had to deal with this one, being honest. Remember, we was arguing a lot. God, I was arguing a lot.
We were.
Here's what I was arguing over. In my ex relationship, there was some sneaky stuff going on. Okay, I'll just say it like that, right? So, cell phones, just, cell phone stuff, and just being real suspicious. Okay, just being real suspicious. So then when I got in the relationship with her, this was huge. I don't mind sharing mine, so it can be a blessing, because I know sometimes it's always, we say the women have insecurities, but men do too. So I'll start with myself, okay? I'll be open about it. So when I saw that she was on her phone a lot and this and that, and she was, deleting the text messages and da-da-da, I'm like, oh, so we got a repeat, huh? Okay, we got a rerun relationship. So I was ready to just say, nope, you know what? I'm cool. Because the last relationship I was in, she did the same stuff, and it turned out to be blah, blah, blah. And so therefore, I was holding her accountable. And I was like, you know what? No, I ain't cool. I ain't cool with this, right? But the whole time was, they were doing the same things, but it wasn't from the same motive. But in my head, it was from the same motive anyway. And since my pain was coming back up, and I promise you, when your pain comes back up, and it reminds, see, that dot connects to that dot.
Right.
Brother, get out, get out, get out. And until we actually had a conversation about my own insecurities, and I said, babe, I apologize. Here's what happened. And then she said, but that's not the reason why I do it. She said, I've been doing this for years. I just like to have my phone empty because it uses up so much data space and da-da-da. See, totally different.
Right.
Totally different. But that's not what my perception was.
Right.
Let me give you guys a technical term, and you want to write this down, and you can look it up on the medical stuff. You have a piece of your brain called the amygdala or the amygdala, okay? And what it acts like in your brain, it acts like a actual Dewey Decimal System, and for those who's too young to know about that, that's that library stuff. It keeps a library of your past pains. Yeah. So what happens is, as you're moving forward in current situations, what the amygdala or the amygdala does, it instantly goes through the reference system of your past experiences, and anything that assembles like a sign, anything, the first thing it does is sends off a warning, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. It doesn't verify anything.
Which is why a lot of people go in and out of relationships.
All the time.
All the time.
It's the amygdala.
Yeah.
It's the amygdala. And this, as a matter of fact, I was talking to a couple the other day, and she was so insistent. But I said, ma'am, but you're hundreds of miles away. You have no evidence of what you're saying. You're substantiating everything. Well, I was researching. Well, I talked to friends. But you're validating everything based off of some outside source and not giving your husband a chance to actually prove that he was telling the truth. And you're ready to just cut the relationship off. Because I've been through this before. That's the amygdala talking to you.
Right. Right.
So I told her, I just suggested, get facts with your gut feeling. I'm not saying ignore your gut feeling, but get some facts with that, because it may just be your insecurities talking loud because you kept on saying, in my past relationships, that's a sure sign.
Right.
In amygdala or amygdala. What's your thoughts on that, babe?
I mean, that's powerful. I mean, because everything we do through a filtering system called life experiences.
Oh my God.
And so our perceptions can be blurred, and reality might not be what our perceptions are telling us. And a lot of times we make judgments about people, we make judgments about situations based on our prior experiences. So until we learn a new way, until we experience a new way, it's hard for us to undo that filtering process of this person did this to me, this person did this to me, I was hurt in this relationship, this person rejected me, this person lied to me, this person cheated on me, my mother left me when I was a child, my daddy was never there for me, so I don't expect for anyone to ever be there for me. I was mistreated as a child, so therefore I know that this person is going to mistreat me. I was I was rejected on this date and he never called again. So I know after this date, he probably will never call me again. So I think that it's undoing all of that filtering process so that our perceptions can be healthy and whole. And really, it takes a lot of self-trust and a lot of self-compassion to be able to deal with all of those insecurities that will spring forth without you even knowing. Because sometimes it's even subconsciously rooted. And you have to really start rehearsing in your mind, I am loved, I can trust, I can believe, I will trust God, I will trust that all things work together for my good, I will trust that life is happening just as it's supposed to happen. And when you begin to repeat those things in your mind, you don't go around with all of these boundaries, not boundaries, but barriers that cause you to distrust everyone and everything and life itself and God. So,
in addition to that, let me throw something, because somebody talked about a lot of men who are cheating on them and this and that, and that's understandable. But here's one of the things, talking about what you just said, and I want to piggyback off of that because that's powerful. One of the things you guys may not understand is the energy you're putting off helps attract the type of people you're bringing into your world. If you have been cheated on multiple times, and so now you're kind of like expecting it, what happens is that expectation, that energy that you're putting off is drawing and magnetizing further situations to occur.
It's called energy. Whatever vibration and frequency you are constantly meditating on, whatever vibration and frequency you are constantly speaking on, whatever thoughts that you can repetitively repeat, life is going to yield all of that to you, because everything is energy. That's why it's so important, ladies and gentlemen, to guard your mind, your
Yep.
heart, your thoughts, because everything is energy. I talked about that a while ago,
Yep.
how everything that you think, speak, and believe begin to manifest.
And let me give you guys a scripture on this, because some of you guys, you'll be like, where is this all coming from? One of my favorite verses in the Bible, here's what it is, Proverbs 4:23, my favorite verse. It says this: guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Let me say it again. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Here's what that means. If you don't guard your heart, all the issues that you're having in your life is going to spring out from that. Even if, and watch this, even if there are no current issues, because it's in your heart, you will produce that again.
That's it.
Get what I'm saying? That's why you have to do the purging process and the cleaning process before you think about entering into the next relationship, because you got to clean up not only the pain, but the energy and the expectation. I'm expecting that you're going to do something in this.
But here's another way, and I like your idea, and I really think that's a good one. But here's an even addition to what you just said. You may not even have all those issues resolved when that special life partner comes into your life. But here's the key thing that we all must have, and that's an awareness of what they are. Because guess what? Sometimes I think we may not always resolve all of those issues. You may be waiting forever to resolve some of those issues, for you to be a complete, perfect person. But I think that when you're with the right partner, they can help you work through those trust issues. And I think that's what happened with us. We helped each other work through those insecurities and those trust issues based on how we treated one another. So I think that just having awareness of who you are and what your stuff looks like. That's the number one key. Just have an awareness that this is who I am, this is where I've been, this is what I've dealt with. So therefore, I'm not going to put this on another human being to carry the load of all of the things that has happened to me in my life. It's not their responsibility to heal you. It's not their responsibility to make you whole. It's not their responsibility to help you learn to trust. It is your responsibility.
Wow.
It is your responsibility.
And here's the thing. That was actually number 4, dear.
Oh, I didn't know.
Number 4 is be open and clear with your significant other. Watch this statement. This is powerful. It says, don't expect others to understand what you have not said. Let me say that again. Because oftentimes in your relationships, you're holding the other person accountable and they don't even know it. You're never really with them, but they don't even know it. They're assuming that you're just tripping because every time I ain't even did nothing. What are you talking about? Because here's what's going on. Don't expect others to understand what you have not said. You open your mouth and talk to them about what you went through. Matter of fact, if you're with the right person, here's what happens when you're with the right person and you actually stop tripping and you stop going off on them out of the blue and they have no idea what's going on in your head. Well, he should have known. Why should he have known? You don't know everything about him. You just assuming he's supposed to know. Oh my God. And you will ruin the relationship. Do you know, ladies, you need to know this. Most men are not very good at reading your mind.
No, they're not.
So until you open your mouth, well, I shouldn't have to tell them, then you shouldn't be in the relationship. I'm just being honest. Then don't be in the relationship, because we're not mind readers. When you tell us what's going on, then we instantly, there's something in us that clicks that says, let me fix the problem. Here's what happens. Now, you got to be careful on who you're selecting and being in relationship with on this. But when you select a good person, and you tell them, here's what I've been through, they're not, I just told you guys about Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart with all diligence. You know what happens? Because when we started talking about what happened to us and why we was this way and our childhood issues and all this kind of stuff, you know what really happened to make our relationship blossom? She started helping to guard my heart. And I started helping to guard her heart. So yes, the responsibility of guarding the heart, it starts with her. But I wanted to make sure I did everything on my part to not repeat the pain of her past, because I love her. You understand what I'm saying? But it wasn't, that kind of situation did not take place until we had a sit down talk about what really happened to us. And then I said, oh, you know what? No wonder she was tripping so much. I didn't even know.
That's right, Geraldine. Sometimes we don't know what's in our mind. And that's why I was telling you,
Yeah.
self-awareness of who you
Yep.
are and your issues takes the responsibility back to you. Because, again, the trust issues begin with you. You know, of course, if you're in a relationship with someone who has broken your trust, then that's a whole different story. That's a
Yep.
whole different dynamic. But I think that overall, it still starts with you, even if that person has betrayed your trust.
Yep.
Because in order, you still have to trust yourself. You still have to have
Yep.
you have to still have some level of trust in others to be able to forgive and love
Yep.
again.
That's right.
In order to be able to produce that love and that forgiveness, you have to have some level of trust in that person to some extent. And of course, that's
Yep.
built over time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a process.
Karen, I think that's
Right.
wise of you. I'm not in a relationship and enjoying getting to know me again.
Good.
Let me tell you something.
That's good, Karen.
That's one of the wisest things you can do. Because again,
Yeah.
why would you put another person through the ringer for something they didn't do?
Right.
You know, let me tell you this, and we're going to bring this to a close.
Right.
Do you know certain tendencies that you may think, oh, he's a cheater, all these men are
Right.
cheaters. No, actually, they're not cheaters. Not all men are cheaters. There are certain tendencies that men just do. Just like for me, I didn't
Right.
know there were just certain tendencies that women do.
Right.
And I wasn't aware of that until we started talking about it. Now I realize, oh, this is just what women do.
Right.
And they don't think there's nothing wrong. So there's a correlation. So when another person does it, it doesn't mean that they have the same intentions or the same, they trying to do me in. So you're going to always be in a guarded situation, and nobody's going to be relaxed around you, not even you. You're going to be,
Wow, that's
you're
so
going to
true.
be nervous.
Not even you.
Not
Yeah.
even you. You're
That's
not going to
good.
enjoy the relationship until you deal with these trust issues and come clean with them and say, God, help me with this. And then if you're with your partner, tell them about your past. Tell them, well, they may use it against me. Here's where trusting in yourself happens. If you think they're going to use it against you, what's the worst that can happen? You wonder why we get on this camera and we ain't tripping? What's the worst? So what? Okay, so somebody says, oh, yeah, Brother Pat and Sister Nancy, see, when they said this, okay, so what? What's the worst you're going to do with gossiping about us? I don't care. You get what I'm saying? Your gossip will not change me. It's not going to make me better, worse, or whatever. I'm not going to fall apart because you're gossiping. So, see, there's a self-confidence in the fact that I don't care about your opinions negatively trying to put me down, because I have enough confidence in me. She has enough confidence in herself that no matter what, we're going to keep this ball rolling, because we're not here for the gossipers. We're here to bless people who've been through the same pain we've been through. So when you have self-confidence, you can move through situations and it's not that big of a deal. So I don't have a problem being transparent with her when I'm having an insecurity. Well, men don't talk about their insecurities. Why shouldn't you, brothers? Speak up to her. Tell her. If you got cheated on or whatever in another relationship, tell her this is why. And now she knows what's on your heart. And ladies, same thing.
But I think for me, what I had to learn was my approach was not always the best approach. Because I knew his history, and I sometimes would say, well, you're only saying that because this is what happened to you.
Yep, don't do that.
I was very therapeutic, and I was psychoanalyzing him all of the time, because, that's sometimes what I do.
Then I was like, man, I'm sorry I told her into stuff. I was like, what the heck?
So because I had an awareness of his issues, I would say, well, you're only saying that because this is what happened to you. And in my mind, I was psychoanalyzing him all of the time. I was his therapist in my mind all of the time. And so I think for me, I had to learn that I just needed to be present for that moment where he was having a trust issue and an insecurity about something in our relationship. So it's sometimes not what you say, but it's how you say it and your approach. So you have to use wisdom when you're dealing with a person who's been very, very hurt by distrust, because sometimes we can come off as, we might think we're doing it in a therapeutic, I'm trying to help you way, but they don't really want that. They just want you to be present and listen and understand, basically.
The Bible says, with all thy getting, get an understanding.
Yeah.
So I just wanted you to understand. I didn't ask you to analyze me. If that's the case, here's number 5.
I was analyzing him.
Yeah.
Honey, he was like a caseload. I don't know if any therapists or case managers, counselors out there, I was basically trying to counsel him through this.
Yeah, I don't need you to be my counselor. I just need you to be my friend.
And I was not being his friend, and I think that was an alarming wake up call for me, because I did, I've always done that. I'm very insightful. I'm very I can see people's pain much sometimes, and I can analyze their pain sometimes to try to help them. But sometimes people don't want you to analyze them. They don't want you to try to fix them. And I think for me, I kept trying to fix him.
Yep.
Through what
I didn't like that, because I was like, hold on. See,
I was trying to fix
it got to the point where I said, I ain't saying nothing no more to her, because every time she would just come out the blue. Oh, see, you're doing this because, and see, when you did this and your mother did it, and I'm like, you connecting some strange dots that ain't even there now. Right. Hold on, you doing too much, Hold on, back up.
Men do not want you to fix them.
No, come on now.
Be their friend. Of course, you need to have an awareness of where they are and where they've been, but don't try to fix them. Don't try to be their therapist. Don't try to be their pastor.
Yeah. Oh God, please.
Don't start quoting scriptures at them when they're falling by the wayside. Don't start quoting scriptures at them. Sometimes just be present. Just your presence sometimes is what people need. We don't always want you to fix us, because really only person who can fix us is ourselves. And so I had to learn that strategy early on in our relationship.
It really was a big turn off.
I was always trying to fix him. I was therapist Nancy, and he was patient Patrick.
Yes, God, that was a terrible time. I'm telling you, because then you're analyzing stuff that don't even exist.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what, I ain't gonna, and I was saying in my head, I ain't gonna tell her nothing else then. Because every time I try to tell her something, guess what? Now she's trying to analyze me. I don't need you analyzing me, because now you're going back, you're reversing the process. You're still trying to hold me accountable for an action that may not even exist. And that's what insecurities do. They hold people accountable for something that may not exist. But then if the person opens up their heart to you, don't overanalyze them. Be their friend. Because if you start overanalyzing them, see, you doing this because, see, your mama did this to you. And then when your mama did this to you, now you interjecting that upon me. And see, I'm not your mama. I'm
your daddy did this.
And your daddy this. See, you got daddy issues.
Your cousin was this way.
Yeah.
And so therefore it runs in the family. So you start doing all of this psychoanalyzing, therapeutic.
And the person just shared an intimate part. They opened up a part of their heart to you, hoping and trusting that they can, trust you with this. And you turn around, and now you're using the words against them. They will never trust you again like that.
Just be present, and really just listen to understand what they're feeling.
Right.
Don't try to analyze it. Just try to get to understanding what they feel, because that's where people really are. People really don't want you to fix them. I've learned that the hard way. People really don't want you to fix them. What they really want is to know that somebody understands what they're feeling.
Here, let me give you guys a little tip on this one, because this is actually number 5. Write number 5 down. You're not the therapist, but sometimes you may need a therapist to come inside. Right. That's number 5. If it's so bad, you may need to go to therapy. But let me share something with you guys. Yeah. One of the things that she switched and did, and we both had to do this to make it work, she stopped trying to analyze me. And you know how she was actually the best therapist of all. And I'm going to tell you guys a tip. Ladies, here's a tip. Here's a tip. Guys, here's a tip. When I started sharing stuff with her and she stopped trying to analyze me, okay, hear me good. It was bad. I promise you, it was bad. Here's the thing. And let me tell you what she did right. She told you what she did wrong, but here's what she did right, and we'll leave with this. What she did right was she started showing me in a nurturing way what real love was. She showed me by her behavior that she could be trusted. She showed me integrity, and she stopped using her mouth. And she just started being very gentle with me. And that was a turning point for me to start trusting her, because she started treating me different from some of the people who treated me in the past. So sometimes while you guys are trying to use your mouth to analyze and fix a person, that is not necessary. No. What you can do is love them better, because I know what you've been through. I'm going to love you a little bit better. I'm going to be a little more gentle when I say certain things to you, because I know, hey, if your mother used her tongue to beat you down, and a lot of men have been through that, I promise you, if your mama was using her tongue to beat you down, and that's where your issues are coming from, I don't need to come around and say, well, see, that's just because your mama, because what are you doing?
That's right,
You're still using your mouth the way mama did.
Like
so what you do is, you just be gentle with the person, because you're aware of what they've been through.
Right. Like what someone just said, Virgo, everybody wants to feel listened to. And then Sherry, you want to feel listened to so that you're not alone in your own head. Amen. That is right. That is so good, Virgo. You do not want to feel like you're alone in your own thoughts, because sometimes we get so lost in our heads. Oh my God, that is so powerful. Thank you for sharing that, sweetie.
Thank you.
Sherry says, I try to analyze what they are feeling because they won't talk to me about anything.
That's why they won't talk.
But here's the thing, Sherry. Let me tell you a more creative way that you can do that.
Gotcha.
You can analyze what they are feeling, but you can do it without antagonizing them.
That's the point.
By just simply allowing them to analyze themselves. Just maybe even ask some introspective questions that requires them to come to their own solutions. I think sometimes, you know, with us, like I was telling you guys,
it was bad.
I was trying to analyze his feelings, but I was also providing the solution. Men don't want the solution. They don't want you to give them the solution. They want to figure it out themselves, but we can creatively draw them to that process by just giving them some really good questions and being that listening ear. So when they do feel when they can trust to share their feelings with you, because you've created that safe space for them to do so, they do so without you even, you know, having to pry about it. You don't even have to pry it. You don't have to coerce them. They do it on their own when they feel that they are in a safe place to trust you. Let me tell you something. I've had men open up to me who I was not in a relationship with, on jobs, on the street, in the Walmart, in Kroger's, because
they just
start divulging stuff. I'm saying, okay, this is too much information. Why? Because it's not that I'm trying to analyze them. I'm just, you know, most people, let me tell you what the most important need for most humans are. The most important need for most humans is, do you see me? Do you see me? With you know, not analyzing me, but do you see me? Do you recognize who I am? Good and the bad, the ugly, the good, the bad, the hurt, the good, all of it. Do you see that person? And when you can see that person, oh my God, what a powerful, powerful human exchange between individuals. So again, you don't have to analyze their feelings. Just be present. And be a friend. And I think that's where we had to learn to get to.
That was the biggest shift. And at that point, then when she stopped trying to analyze me and stopped trying to tell me how I was feeling, I promise you that. Ladies, if you are doing that, you need to stop today. Stop telling him how he feels. See, you feel like this. See, and a lot of times women wonder why men don't talk. Why am I going to talk if you're going to do all the talking? Why would I talk to a person when I actually told you the information, you're trying to, no, that ain't what it is. Hold on. You asked me. You asked me what was going on for me. Then when I try to tell you something, you always trying to interject your thoughts onto what I said. So at that point, men don't talk. I promise you they will shut down and they ain't saying nothing. So now I'm going to analyze his behavior. Now here you go trying to analyze his behavior. And then that may not have been one period of a thought in his head, but you say, yes, it was. Yes, it was. You was doing this. And you wonder why he won't talk to you. Because he doesn't have a chance to be authentic with you.
And Sherry, it sounds to me like he's, you know, you can only do so much for a life partner when it comes to trust, but I think that the person who you're in a relationship with, they have to learn to trust themselves. That's where
that's another issue.
Trust themselves. And as they learn to trust themselves and their own feelings, because you can't make a person get in touch with their feelings. You really can't. You really cannot make a person get in touch with their own feelings. That is a inward job. And so I think for you, what you were saying was, take the cape off. Stop trying to be that man's therapist and be his friend. That's all he wants is your friendship.
Being told what I feel when I done just told you what I felt, and you gonna tell me now that ain't it. I'm telling you,
I was guilty of it, guys.
My God, that burned me up.
This is not what you're feeling. You're really saying this because see, this is what you dealt with.
Oh my God,
I almost blew it, guys. I'm telling you. Don't try to be his therapist. Don't try to be his pastor. Don't try to be his teacher. Be his friend, and eventually he'll work it out. He'll work the things out himself, because
Yep.
you'll provide the space for him to work on his own feelings.
Because-
a lot of men don't know how to deal with their own feelings. They haven't been taught. Women, we've been taught how to deal with our feelings. Men are not. Men have really not been taught how to deal with their own feelings, and so they tend to do, deal with external means to help cover up and cope with feelings, because they've been taught, you be a man, you tough it up, you don't you keep it going, you don't cry, you don't get upset. And so men have really not been able to process like we have.
Yep.
So I learned the hard way, ladies. Don't try to fix him. Let him fix himself.
Last question, because we way over time. Sorry about that, everybody. But Natty, you have a question, and says, how do you begin to trust yourself?
Ooh, that's good.
I would suggest you have to go back and do your own homework. Here's what I've been saying for a very long time. Do you know most people are better experts at celebrities and everybody else than themselves?
Yeah.
Most people know more about other people and their life than they do about themselves.
Yeah.
Most people spend so much time on social media trying to figure out what's going on with Kim Kardashian and all these other people, and you should be trying to figure out things about yourself.
Yeah.
So it's really a job to really just go in and do the due diligence and homework on your own heart. And here's where you really need to start, because I promise you this is huge. A lot of times some of your issues started from your childhood. And so you're going to have to rewind the tape from your childhood all the way up to the current, and just say, and make a list and say, here's where this happened, and this, I forgot about this, and no wonder I'm this and that. And you start working on those things, praying, God help me to do this. And if you're with a partner, start telling them a little bit, just, hey, be open. This is what happened to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And Sherry, you said he hates being told how he feels, but I like tell him how, well, I know what he's feeling. Sometimes, silence.
Oh, God. Amen.
Sherry, silence is more powerful than trying to utter to someone what they're feeling, what they're thinking. Sometimes just you don't have to try to, even you might even know how he's feeling. He might not be aware of his feelings, but you don't have to utter that to him. You don't have to speak that to him. Sometimes you, in your intuitive voice, that God gave women to have a very strong intuitive voice. We know things sometimes without even having the knowledge from the other person, because that's just the way we were built. But just because we know that about our partner doesn't mean we should always speak it. It's for your own knowledge.
Let me tell you what she did.
Your silence is more powerful, man.
Let me tell you a powerful thing that she does for me a lot now. I'm giving Sherry, I'm gonna help y'all today from a man's perspective who wasn't willing to talk.
Yeah.
And my dad wasn't out a talker either. Cold silence. He ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
Okay? Here's what you need to know. One of the things she totally is just hitting it out the park with. Sometimes she knows something is going on with me, but instead of analyzing me, here's what she does. She say, babe, is everything okay? And sometimes I say, no, no. I say, yeah, everything cool right now. But she already knows something's wrong.
I already know what's going on.
But here's what she does.
But I don't say it.
So here's what she says to me. She says, babe, whenever you want to talk, let me know.
That's right.
See, she ain't analyzing me no more.
Right.
Oh, my God, that's so freeing. Praise God for you. Oh, but let me tell you this.
I let it go.
So here's what she says.
I let it go.
She says, babe, whenever you want to talk about it, let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to go over here and I'll be praying for you. And she gives me space.
I let him
She ain't in my face trying to analyze me.
Listen.
And because of that, let me be honest with you.
I let him deal with him.
But
I got enough dealing with my own self.
But let me say this. Let me say this. Because she's gentle with me and she's acknowledging that she knows that I have an issue. Even if I say no, but because she says, babe, is everything okay? I say, yeah, everything cool. She knows it's not, but here's what she does right. She says, well, babe, if anything's wrong, just come and let me know and we can talk about it later. See, she just opens the door for a conversation, for me to be the leader of that conversation. She's not stepping in trying to lead it and tell me how I'm feeling. So and here's what makes it really, really smooth and beautiful. Okay? This is important. Because this is when, as a man, I started really feeling supported by her. When she would just simply say, babe, well, just let me know if you need to talk about anything. I'll be over here praying for you.
Right.
I cannot tell you, ladies, how golden that statement I just gave you. That will change your relationship today.
Right.
Because most women want to tell a man what he's feeling.
Amen.
And that will make him more angrier than anything else. Listen, let me give you guys some help. Y'all really need this.
Yeah.
Y'all need this. Hold on, baby. I know you want to say something, but let me help these women.
No,
okay?
I was trying to respond to what
Sherry said. Hold on. Let me help them. Let me help them because this is important. You really need to know this. You know, there's a scripture in the Bible, and it's only to the man. This is important. The Bible says to the man, and be not bitter against your wife. You guys need to know this. We're way over time, but this really is important. The Bible only tells the man, and be not bitter. You women, and I told you, women have no idea how many men are so angry and bitter against you. They resent you. They sometimes hate you. And it's not because you're not a good woman. Well, I'm a good woman. It ain't about your goodness. It's the fact that you're trying to tell me how I'm feeling. You're trying to tell things. You're trying to always act like you know everything and you're never wrong. Even, well, I'm not, and you're justifying everything and you're never apologizing. You're just so hardcore. And you wonder why men don't talk in relationships. This is not a communicate. Oh, we got communication issues. I'm talking, he don't say nothing. That's the problem. You're doing all the talking.
Wow.
That's the problem.
Wow.
Shut up. I told you guys, my real estate teacher years ago had taught me in real estate deals, she said a lot of realtors lose deals because they talk too much. And I don't remember, I went through that whole course. And all I walked away with to this day, I don't remember nothing else she taught except for one thing. She said, learn to shut up.
Right.
Shut up. You don't have to tell nobody nothing. Well, I'm just sharing the truth. See, that's your problem. You sharing what's on your mind. Shut up and go talk to God about it. Let him know that baby, I'm here for you. If you feel comfortable, hey, come and talk to me. In the meantime, let me go over here and pray. And then you go tell God what you think. And then listen for God to say, no, daughter, that's actually not what's going on for him. He just had a bad day at work. You thinking that it's something that he's trying to do this to me. Well, he's being sneaky. No, the man had a bad day at work and he just don't want to put all that on you. Because he knows as soon as you tell him, you're going to twist his words up, analyze it again, and he knows he's not going to get positive results. I promise you, one of the things she did that just transformed our relationship, and I'm so vulnerable with her now. I blurt out everything. I barely hold anything back now because she changed how she was addressing me as a woman. She wasn't analyzing me no more. She just opened the door gently and said, baby, if you have anything you want to talk about, let me know. I'll be over here praying for you. Let me give you this last tip and I'll be quiet.
I love it.
Ladies, here's a key. Here's a key. Learn to love your man like a mother, but respect him like a wife.
Woo! I love it.
I'm going to give you that tip. That's a free one. For those who tuned in, thank you. For those who stayed long, I'm giving you a tip. Learn to love your man like a mother. Even if he's had a bad relationship with his own mother, you loving him like a good mother would, I promise you, it's a little boy trapped inside who's still angry.
Wow.
Okay?
That's good.
Or afraid. Every man has this.
Amen, yeah.
Every man has, every man. And I know most people will never say or admit it, but every man deals with this.
You're right.
Okay? So love him like a mother, but respect him like a wife. Wow. Men, here's the truth. If you want a good relationship with your woman, love her like a real good dad, gentle dad, but respect her as a husband. You don't treat her like a little girl, but you love her like she's your daughter.
Respect her like a wife.
Yeah, respect her like a wife, but love her like a daughter.
Right.
Okay? So you don't analyze your children. You just let them come to you. Daddy, I ain't feeling good. Oh, baby, come on over here.
Yes.
See, notice ain't no analyzing. Well, baby, see, you ain't feeling good because, see, 3 days ago, you don't do that with your own children.
And neither does God do that with us.
No. He don't analyze. Listen, just be gentle with the person. Right. Invite them to talk to you if they feel up to it. In the meantime, the reassurance is, baby, whenever you're ready to talk about it, whatever's going on, I'll be over here praying for you. And when you want to talk about it, let me know.
Right.
Because she did that, now I'm quick to talk to her about it. We talk all the time. I'm one of those men who I talk quick with her now.
Right.
So if you want your man to talk quick with you, you have to stop talking so quickly and just be gentle. Okay?
And Sherry, one last thing to your question. You said that he hurts you when he doesn't talk, when he's silent. You are allowing that to hurt you by the feelings that you are attaching to it. You are attaching too much meaning to his silence. You're really making it about you when it really may not even be about you.
Most of the time it ain't.
Most of the time it's not. And I had to realize when he's silent, it's not that he's mad at me or he's trying to reject me. He's dealing with himself. So I stopped making it about me. And really, let me just give you this life tip. and I don't know where I heard this from, but I heard this from somewhere. Nothing can hurt you until you attach meaning to it.
Yes.
The moment you attach meaning to something, that's when we tend to be hurt by something. So stop attaching meaning to his silence and stop internalizing it as he's rejecting me, he's not talking to me. Stop making it about you. It's not about you. It may not, sometimes it could be about you, but the majority of the time it's not about you.
Well, actually it is. Here's where it is for men. I'm going to tell you where it is. A lot of times, y'all want to know what men are when they get real quiet and they don't want to talk. Sometimes he's trying to deal with solving a financial problem to keep the roof over your head. Sometimes he's trying to figure out, okay, this job is stressing me out and I want to leave this job, but no, I got to take care of my wife and my kids and this and that. So he don't tell you what's going on, because here's what most men will do. We will deal with the stress of the issue, and in our heads we're trying to find a solution so that by the time we tell you about it, we can say, oh, because we're all trying to play the hero. Oh, baby, well, see, they was talking about foreclosing on the house, but here's what I did. I ended up working extra hours at my job, and I got to fix. See, he want to tell you the solution.
Right.
Why? Because he knows if he really tells you the problem, you'll probably be asking 500 questions that he don't have an answer for. So he's getting silent because he's stressed out sometimes.
Right.
So he's trying to keep it to himself, thinking that he's protecting you. So sometimes it ain't about you did nothing wrong.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So just relax. And that's why now I'm so quick to open up in minutes to tell her, babe, this was going on. This was going on. Why? Right. Because she gives me the loving space to let me lead the conversation. And now, instead of her listening with her own filters of, okay, now, no, he's feeling this. No, she just simply listens to me with an open ear to say, okay, let him tell me what he's feeling. Right. And then she responds to what I told her now, as opposed to what she used to do. I used to tell her what I was feeling, and she'll go off all the way to the left, and now I got to sit, man, it's like, this is too much work talking to you. Okay?
And there's a scripture that Jesus talked about. I don't remember the exact scripture, but you can Google it. It said that the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. So ladies, let your shoulder be the safe place where that man can just lay his head.
His because emotional head. Yep.
Jesus was as powerful as he was, as many miracles as he performed on this earth. God, he said the Son of Man have nowhere to just lay his head. So ladies, we have to be that place where he can just lay his head. He don't have to explain anything. He don't have to understand your theories. He doesn't have to try to figure out where he needs to go, but he can just lay his head on you.
I'm tired.
Because he's tired. So I think that was really just came to my spirit to share with you all. I don't know where it is, but you can Google it. But it's in the Gospels of Jesus, where he talks about the Son of Man have nowhere. Just imagine Jesus as powerful as he was on this earth, and was much as human as he was, but all of the miracles and all of the things that he did on this earth, he said the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head.
Here's what that means.
Powerful.
Ladies, so many men, you wonder why men are angry nowadays. I'm just helping you guys understand men, because I see some women talking about men and they give each other bad advice. Y'all don't know, but oh God, stop listening to them. Hear a man say what's going on for men. A lot of times that's exactly the point. We don't have anywhere to go to talk about our feelings. So all we know to do is to get angry and resentful and bitter, because we don't have an emotional place to lay our head. Amen. That's exactly the point. And when I was in relationship with you, I'm trying to lay my head on your shoulders, but now instead of you giving me a pillow, here you go. You're trying to analyze
I have it right here, guys. It's in Luke chapter 9, verse 58. I have such a respect. I've been reading the Gospels of Jesus, and I'm telling you, Jesus was such a powerful human being, and I really believe that if you really read the teachings of Jesus, it will teach you everything that religion doesn't teach you. Jesus was not a religious person.
No.
Jesus will teach you how to love human. Jesus will teach you how to be a better human being and how to be a better friend, how to love deeper. But I want to read this to you. Luke chapter 9, verses 58. I'm going to be reading from the King James Bible. And it says, "And Jesus said unto him, Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not nowhere to lay his head. And I think that is so powerful, because I know there are a lot of men out there who feel like they don't have nowhere where they can just lay their head, where they can just feel safe, where they can just feel like, you know what, I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to be politically correct. I don't have to have everything together, but I just have somewhere where I can just lay my head.
You know how many men come home? And remember I told you this, and we're done at this point because we're way over time. But we just missed y'all. We just missed y'all. But let me say this to you, ladies, because I want you to get real information from a man who's telling you the truth. Stop listening. Well, girl, here's what he's thinking. You ain't no man. You don't know what he's thinking. Girl, gosh, you don't know nothing. I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes. He said he reads a lot of articles that women wrote. He's like, girl, they don't know what they even talking about. Let me help you with a man telling you. When you've been at a job and the job is pulling on you, the bills is pulling on you, the kids pulling on you, everybody pulling on you, y'all as women have each other to support each other. Men have no emotional place to lay their head. Their friends, they can't talk to their friends about where their emotions are. I'm telling you. So therefore, they depend on you. And then when I do come to you and you just trying to psychoanalyze me, it's more work trying to explain to you, and I don't even want to talk to you about it no more. So literally, let me leave you with this. You wonder why men have a higher rate of suicide than women. You wonder why men have a higher rate of suicide than women. Because of that verse, like she just read, now you understand. Jesus was helping everybody. Yes. But where did he have a place to go where somebody said, hey, Jesus, what do you need?
Yes.
Do you need a cup of water?
Right.
Okay, you just fed 5,000 people. Can I make you a plate? And I told somebody on another video, everybody wanted Jesus to make a plate for them, but nobody in the scriptures, read your Bible, not a single person ever said, Jesus, can I make you a plate and bring you some hot sauce with this fried fish that you just produced for everybody else? Not a single person.
That's right, Roderick. Jesus was all about humanity. And I'm telling you, if you read the Gospels, I'm telling you, Jesus will let every person who say they serve Jesus question whether they really are serving Jesus. Because a lot of things that we're doing religiously, Jesus was never for. He was never for that. Jesus was, I'm telling you, read the Gospels. It will help you become not a better Christian, but a better human being. Because that is what Jesus was about. How to be a better person on this earth, doing unto others as we would have others do unto us. And I think that was powerful.
And thank you
for sharing, Roderick.
Vanandra, hope I said your name right. I like that. She said it was all great advice. I hope it helps a lot of people. People need to listen. Let me tell you something. That's all we're trying to do. We're just using what we went through, our experience, and then what we learned to jump on this camera and just try to help as many people as possible. We're not superstar. We're nobody important. We just want to help humanity in the relationship arena to become better by understanding what the dynamics is going on in those relationships and how to freaking fix them so that you're not like we were initially for the first year and a half, constantly arguing over stupid stuff and talking about divorce left and right when she was the best thing since sliced bread that could have been in my life, but we didn't have the tools necessary to understand how to make the relationship function. So all we're doing is doing the same thing, just trying to give back to help other people. Okay, but anyway, we're way over time.
We're sorry we got off topic at the end. We're really supposed to be dealing with trust issues. I don't know how we got on this area, but guess what? The Holy Spirit and God knows who needed to hear it.
So it's cool.
We're good.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy, and play this back if you missed anything, okay? We love you guys. Please share the video.
Love you guys.
Please share the video with people that you know needs it, and it's not to boost up our numbers or anything like that. It's just that sometimes people are talking to you, and you know that they're dealing with this, so let them watch the video so that it'll actually confirm what you probably was telling them anyway. Okay, so you say, see, I told you, look at this. They said the same thing, right? So anyway, let me leave you with this. Live like grass and keep on growing. Even when you get cut, keep on growing. And live like time and keep moving forward. DGU, don't give up. All right? Hey, Suze, you tuned in and we done, bro. You're going to have to play back the reback. All right, you guys. Bye.